Okay, good morning everybody, and thank you all for being here for this Community Development, Place and Tourism Cabinet Member meeting. So it is Thursday the 23rd of March 2023 at 10 AM. So I'll just do, as I always like to do, a round of introductions for anyone who may be watching at home. So I'm Councillor Matthew Eyre and I'm the Cabinet Member for Community Development, Place and Tourism. I'll go around to my left.
Thank you, Councillor. I'm Dawn Deakin. I'm the Service Manager for Housing Standards at Derby City Council.
I'm Nicola Kane. I'm the Service Manager for the Environmental Protection Team at Derby City Council.
I'm Mike Kay. I'm the Head of Service for Public Protection.
Donna Dowse, Acting Service Manager for Trading Standards, Derby City Council.
Good.
Dominic Monaghan, Democratic Services Officer.
Okay, thanks everybody. So we'll make our way through the agenda. So first item is apologies. I'm not aware of any apologies. No. Second item is late items to be introduced by the chair, and there are none. Third is declarations of interest. I'm not aware of any declarations of interest at all. Fourth is meetings of the minutes held on the 18th of October 2022. I'm not aware of any issue that's been raised on with the minutes, so happy to approve those. And item 5 is Housing Standards Service Fees and Charges 2023-24.
Okay, thank you, Chair. That's myself. This should be quite a quick briefing today. But this report this morning is to endorse the proposed fees and charges for the years 2023-24. The housing standards fees and charges. The report is regarding our fees and charges that are revised and then endorsed annually, and I'm asking for a fresh endorsement of these, please, today. The fees and charges are set to ensure that they reflect the cost of delivering the service and take into account inflationary costs. The council has discretion to set the fees, and these are being reviewed on a cost recovery basis only. The housing standards fees and charges for the period 23-24 are set out at Appendix 1 of my report, and the recommendation to the chair are pleased to approve the housing standards service fees and charges as set out at Appendix 1.
Fabulous, thank you. So is anyone else commenting on that one or just yourself? No, fabulous. So I've had a look through those prior to the meeting. I'm not seeing any issues with those at all. I'm more than happy to give my approval.
Thank you,
so I'm more than happy to follow the recommendation that's there. So item 6 then is Public Protection Service Fees and Charges 2023-24.
Yeah, that's me, Chair. Thank you. In a similar vein to the information that Mrs. Deakins just set out, the fees and charges for the Public Protection Service are reviewed annually. Some are set nationally, cannot be changed by the council. In those cases where the council does have discretion, the fees and charges have been reviewed to reflect the cost in providing the service. Most of the changes relate to increases in inventory costs. The proposed fees and charges for the Public Protection Service for 23-24 are set out at Appendix 1. The final column of the table sets out a narrative for any changes that are being proposed. To ensure the ability to be responsive to in-year changes to the costs associated with providing services, approvals also sought to agree through a formalised delegation process changes to the fees and charges during the 23-24 period. There's 2 recommendations, Chair, to approve the proposed fees and charges for 23-24 are set out in Appendix 1, and then to delegate authority to the Service Director for Communities in Place in consultation with the Cabinet Member for Community Development, Place and Tourism to agree further changes to fees and charges for the public protection services, if appropriate, during 23-24, to ensure the services maximise income generation opportunities and are able to be responsive to other implications for the business, plus ensuring the cost recovery for the services available. Thank you.
Fantastic, thanks Mike. So again, have a look through these before the meeting. Nothing jumped out to me really as a concern. I think all the increases that are there are reasonable increases based on the times that we're in and the pressures that we face. So based on that, more than happy to approve those with that first recommendation. On the second recommendation, I think we're absolutely right that given the changing nature of the times that we're in, we're going to have to look at whether things change during the year, whether there's a specific demand or a specific lack of demand that means we have to alter what we're charging for and how much we're charging for it. So again, I think having that consultation in there with the cabinet member is really important as well. From my perspective, I think that's something we're going to have to look at doing this year, and again, more than happy to give my approval to that recommendation there. So item 7 then, I've got exclusion of the press and public. Now that's never been on here before, so I'm guessing that's something because we're considering it for one of the items for this meeting. So Dom?
So it's to consider a resolution to exclude the press and public during the consideration of the following items. That under section 100A of the Local Government Act 1972, the press and public be excluded from the meeting during discussion of the following items on the grounds that they involve the likely disclosure of exempt information as defined in paragraph 3 of Part 1 of Schedule A of the Act, and that the public interest in maintaining the exemption outweighs the public interest in disclosing the information.
Yeah,
To agree with that.
yes, yeah, I'm happy to follow the advice and agree to that.